So the game finishes Wolves 0, Forest 1. Yeah, it was a crap game. Yeah, it was a crap performance. But yeah, we'll take the 3 points. Welcome to the player ratings. Hi guys, hope you're doing well and welcome to the player ratings where we got a lot to talk about. And yeah, I think the overarching emotion for me is relief. I was worried for a little while, but light work in the end, light work. So if you're enjoying the content, please don't forget to hit the like button. Let's get out of the way nice and early, chat. Get the likes up. Make sure you're subscribed as well. If you're watching later, if you're watching now, let me know in the chat who was your man of the match. Make sure you check out the sponsors, OK Jerseys. You can get all your football tops there for £15 and a further 8% off if you use code FFTV. Click on that, scan that QR code, or click on the link that's provided. Always go a size up. All right. Let's dissect this. Let's have a quick little summary of the game. I thought we were, look, this is how I would describe it, right? It was two not very confident teams, but Forest were comfortable the whole match. My biggest worry during that game was I just didn't know how we were going to break them down. There was a lot of balls being chucked in from crosses, kind of roughly towards Igor Jesus, but they had three centre backs that were dealing with it. Obviously, we had a goal scored from a lovely corner. It was a corner, wasn't it? Hutchinson put it in. Igor Jesus meets it, and then Ndoye saves the day for Wolves. But after that, it just felt quite stale. And in the end, it was a moment of quality, good build-up from Forest, a delicious cross from Hutchinson, and finally, poor old Igor Jesus gets his first Premier League goal. Can we get some Igor Jesus emojis in the chat, please? Because damn, does he deserve it. Got screwed at Liverpool, got screwed in the first half today, and finally gets the goal. So well done to Igor. I'll send him a message later, picking him up. But in general, I thought Wolves, if there's any Wolves fans, good luck for the rest of your season. There was nothing really from you guys until about 15 minutes to go where Forest dropped deep. Excuse me. Forest dropped a bit too deep for me and invited the pressure on. I would have thought that a 1-0 down the game could have opened up a bit and we could have pushed for a second goal. What we tried to do was kind of sit back and look, in the end it worked out, but the quality of the game wasn't exactly great, if I'm being honest with you. But I don't care. We got the 3 points. We move on. The most important thing for me from that game is that gap towards that second step. That midfield pack has been closed now. My God, man. By the way, my sister's just had a baby and I'm getting calls left, right, and center. Congratulations to her. I'm an uncle again for what feels like the 100th time. But yeah, anyway. So what was I saying? So yeah, we've closed the gap to that pack, especially with Leeds at the moment as we're recording this live, winning 2-1 against Chelsea. In a way, Chelsea losing would be absolutely hilarious. Someone never a foul straight after this. But look, overall, I say don't judge the performance. Take the 3 points. Think about it like this. Villa played them at Villa Park and only were able to scrape a 1-0. Wolves are very dogged, very dogged. Thank you guys for the congratulations in the chat. Appreciate it. But you know what I'm saying? It's like you take the 3 points. That was away from home as well. That was a potential banana skin. You don't want to be the first team to give that team their first win, and we were able to avoid that. So now it's up to Man U and Liverpool to see if they can avoid that banana skin, right? So I'm happy with the result, not so much the performance, if that makes sense. And yeah, let's get into the player ratings. Get your player ratings in. Please hit the like as well. I'll talk about Ndoye when we get to him in the player ratings because I'm kind of done with him, man. I'm kind of done with him. Yeah, thank you to all. Congratulating my sister as well. I'll make sure she sees the messages. Okay, let's get into these player ratings. So, Sells was. Oh, I don't think he was tested, guys. I'm struggling to think of a shot that really stretched him today. And you know what I liked about Sells? He came off his line a couple of times. He came off his lines a couple of times. Yeah, Pat, exactly that. Result, good, performance, crap. I do agree with that summary. I didn't mind Sells today at all. I'll give him a clean sheet and a 7. I think that's absolutely fine for me from Sells today. Oh God, Anthony. Anthony with the coffee. I wonder what this is gonna say. I wonder what this is gonna say. He goes, fun fact, sometimes should only be called out after the game. Some fun facts should only be called out after the game. Sorry to you and the fan base for the heart attack, you Reds. Big up to you, Anthony. Much love. Yeah, learn your lesson and don't give us those fun facts about 5 minutes to go, bro. Thank you so much for the coffee. So Sells, I'm giving him, yo, Sunderland are beating Liverpool. Let's go, man. I warned the Liverpool fans they're in a race to 40. They didn't want to listen. Let's see what you guys gave Sells. You guys gave him a 7 as well. Exactly a 7. Wow. Exactly a 7. Big up to Mark. He says here's $2 for Wolves. Still having 2 points. Fairs, man. I think Wolves are done. I feel sorry for I like Wolves. But yeah, not at our expense. They need to get to 12 points, right? Now they need to get to 12 points. Yeah, can we get some laughing emojis in the chat? I don't know, like maybe if you guys are watching this later, when it's not live, you'll know the result. But let's hope it stays that way. Big up Mikey with the £2, my guy. Thank you so much for the £2. Appreciate it. And let's move on into the defense. So Savona was right back. I don't really think he was that troubled. And to be honest, if it wasn't for Savona, one of Wolves' very few attacks could have been disastrous. It could have been disastrous. He had 2 men over. This was after we went 1-0 up. And he was able to almost ankle heel it away, if that's such a phrase, and cleared it. I don't think he was stretched at all. I thought he was quite comfortable up against their kind of right winger and what have you. I'm going to give him a solid 7 as well. I thought he was fine tonight. You guys have gone 6.64. This is a live count, by the way. So if you're just joining, you want to do your player ratings, get involved. It's completely free to do. I always like to see how you guys score these players compared to me. So 6.64 for you guys for Savona. Let's move on to Milenkovic. I thought he was solid tonight. I thought he was absolutely solid. Do you think Wolves will get more points than Derby's record? I hope so, bro. I hope so. There's just one man who can save Liverpool now. Crypto. My God, man. Your brother's a Liverpool fan, and I can't even bring myself to tease him at the moment. I know, man. I know. Apparently, Andrew's linked to that job. I don't know how true that is. But anyway, I liked Milenkovic today. I thought he was rock solid. Nothing really stood out for me like anything was wrong with him. Clean sheet as well. He had to come across the left-hand side a couple of times just to help out Morato, but again, it just shows you his awareness in the footballing brain. I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10. I thought he was very good tonight. Very good tonight. You guys have gone 7.2 for Milenkovic. Would you guys say it was 7? I thought he was more towards an 8. Low 7s. That's a little harsh, maybe. I don't know. But anyway, this is the beauty of this show. You guys get to say what you want and vote how you want. Onto Morato. I actually thought he did very well. There was a couple of tiny little mini bozo moments, and there was one that puckered my asshole up when he decided to do a little Brazilian flick on the edge of RD, but he got away with it, and it kind of looked good. If that hadn't come off, I'd have been absolutely kicking off. But I actually thought he was fine. Any mistake? Not really. I think I just felt apprehensive whenever he got the ball. And fair play to him, after the mess up he did at the weekend, he's kind of come back and put in, I think, a decent performance. So I'm actually going to give him a 7. I thought he was all right, to be honest. I thought he was all right. I felt Milenkovic was slightly better, but again, not really under much stress, our defense tonight. I don't think his passing was that bad. I actually think when it came to the passes from the back, his ones were going forward more than some of the others. Because if you notice what would happen, you'd have like Savona plays it to Milenkovic, then it comes to Morata, then he gets a ball forward to like an Anderson or to Nico Williams. So I'll give him a 7. I think you guys are a little harsh there. A little harsh. And then at left back, who was it? Nico Williams, wasn't it? Where is he? Williams, solid performance, not exceptional. Really good free kick. And when I say not exceptional, obviously Nico Williams, I hold to a higher standard. That free kick was very good, by the way. It nearly did go in and forced a good save out of Johnson. Again, I don't think he was under any duress, to be honest. Maybe in the last 10 minutes, they started to attack a bit down that left-hand side. He was a bit too narrow and left him some space. And they were able to get a couple of crosses in. But nothing to worry about at all. I'll give him a 7 out of 10. You guys got about the same with a 6.8 out of 10. Okay. And then into the midfield. Let's start with Anderson. I thought for the first 20 minutes of the game, Anderson completely controlled that match. Everything was going through him. He was, you know what I like about him? The way he demands the ball. He like literally was coming up to Morata and saying, stop, give me the ball. I'm the ball carrier in this team. I think he faded a bit towards the end of the first half and then picked it back up in the second half. It was clear to see that when Anderson is dictating the play, that's when Forest are able to dictate the play. So he's so pivotal to our game. I just thought in general, solid performance. Passing was crisp. He's probably like a 7.5 or an 8 for me, to be honest. I'll round him up to an 8. I thought he was very good today, especially in those pockets where he controlled. Leeds are 3-1 up. Shut up, man. Are they really? Nah, you're lying. Oh my God. What did Sanchez do there, man? What did Sanchez do? What actually happened there, guys? What is that mess? Leeds at Chelsea are having an absolute nightmare, man. Oh no, sorry, Chad. I just want to see a replay on this. Like, it looked like it was if Sanchez. I'll describe it to you on the replay. What the hell? Sanchez is acting like he's been sniped or something. He's holding on to the ball. So Leeds came down the left-hand side. So Gusto, there was a face in the hand. Gusto played it back and then tapped it across. Oh my God. Well, I think he might be offside though. I think Calvert-Lewin might be offside. I know we need Chelsea to win, bro, but it's still funny. It's still funny. Full bozo moment there. Actually, he can't be offside. He was behind the play there. Anyway, sorry, let's get back to Forest. I'm giving Anderson an 8 out of 10. Let's see what you guys gave him. 7.4. I said, all right, he's between like a 7.5 and an 8. It does stand, man. Oh my God, what a Chelsea do. I can't wait to go never a foul now. So yeah, Anderson done. Let's move on to Sangare. Sanchez is still kicking off about it, man. I think he's trying to say he had the ball in his hand. Sangare, I don't think he was brilliant tonight. I think he was okay. I just felt his passes were a bit sideways today. No real penetrating passes through the lines, etc. So I thought he was. I didn't think he was bad. I didn't think he was exceptional. I thought he was just good. So I'll give him a 6. I think he tired. I think it was right to bring him off. He had probably one of the best slow motion bicycle kicks you have ever seen. That in itself maybe is worth a point. But my God, was it in slow motion, man. It was hilarious. I'll give him a 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10. You guys are going, wow, 6.7. Am I being harsh on him? Am I being harsh on him? Or did you guys really rate his bicycle kick? It's a good job we won with Leeds winning. Yeah, hazardous, man, big time. And they've got Liverpool next, so they're going to fancy their chances, you know. Okay, on to from Sangare into midfield, Gibbs White. I actually thought Gibbs White was good in the first half, but he almost looked injured to me in the second half. I don't know. I thought him and Anderson played well in that first half, especially that period where Anderson was controlling it. They were linking up all right. I just think he came off and looked a little bit injured to me. So where he was fit and playing, I think he was about a 7, and that's what I'm going to give him out of 10. Did he create anything? I can't remember. There's so little created in that chance. Gibbs White was poor for a Wolves game, could be injured. I kind of agree with the second one. I don't think he was poor, but I think he looked like he had a knock, and that's why he came off in the second half. The odd Hollywood ball that didn't go through, but I think he did okay, chat. He's not one to target today, in my opinion. He had a great flick for an almost goal. There's some nice touches in there. He was still working quite hard. Wolfie, do you have a script in those glasses? Nope. Make it all up as I go along, bro. Okay, so you guys have got a 6.6 for Gibbs White. Please do hit the like button, guys. Make sure you're subscribed as well. Really does help the channel as we're pushing on to 35,000 subscribers. Okay, so who is up next? Hutchinson. Let's talk about Hutchinson. I don't think he was impactful as when he'd come off the bench in the last few games, but he was driving at fullbacks, cutting in, going outside. He was having a couple of shots. He was making the right decisions when it came to the shots. There was a shot from the edge of the box. I know it went over, but it was the right choice. He had the shot on his weaker foot, forced to save at the near post. He produced the cross for the first goal, which was a gem, and he produced the cross for the actual goal, which was a gem. I think he played really well for his first starting debut in the Premier League. I thought he did very well. I don't think he was exceptional. But that's what you want from a winger. Now, had that been replicated from the other side, we would have had, good balance potentially in that attack. But I just think he played very well and is creative. I would actually say he was probably the most creative player on that pitch in the attacking third. I'm giving him an 8 out of 10. I like this guy. And he's just a starter straight away for the Everton game for me. Let's see what you guys did. 7.5. Hutchinson the Graham, not a fan of him, but I think he did well. The kid's going to thrive at Forest. Can't wait to see how he develops. Yeah, it's still early days. He has he got 4 assists already? That is shameful that he hasn't been playing. It really is. It really, really is. Okay, so you guys went 7.5 for him. All right, let's get the negative out the way. Dan Ndoye. Where is he? Dan Ndoye, show your face. For the life of me, I can't find him. Maybe that's a good thing. He doesn't exist, chat. Oh, there he is. He was the poorest player on the pitch, and I mean for both sides. Owen, I want my apology. I'll wait for it. But this is a lot of you are saying to me I've judged him too quickly. I said before we signed him, I didn't think he was a pace merchant. I had loads of you saying to me he is a pace merchant. I haven't seen this pace. I also see some good elements into his game. The first attack he had kind of sums him up for me. He did well to get around the defender and then just toe poked it out of play. He then has a chance at goal and he can't get his header on target. And it was semi-free for that. At least get it on target. Another cross came in towards him. All he had to do was guide it back into the danger area. He just cushioned it back for the goalkeeper. And then, of course, he stopped our goal from standing by being offside. Liverpool have equalised, for God's sake. Look, I don't need to say much more about him because I think everything that I've worried about him has actually come to fruition. And I don't want it to. I'd rather I'm wrong. 60% of the time I'm right every time. I get it. but I don't mind being wrong. Leeds scored again? No. Vert scored. Oh, shut up, man. Really? Anyway, back to Ndoye. So look, I want to be wrong on him, but I just don't see how I'm going to be wrong on him, unfortunately. And the good news is Bakwa played in the academy game today. He got 61 minutes. So Bakwa should be close. So at least we're going to have some options. I do blame Sean Dyche for Ndoye tonight. I blame him for starting him. And I also blame him for not hooking him at halftime. He eventually did hook him, but it should have been a lot earlier. And you know what? As soon as he hooked him, shock horror, Forest score a few minutes later. I'm giving him a 2 out of 10. I thought he had a poor game. And, you know, if he was going to keep him on, I would have switched Hutchinson over to the left-hand side because he was actually getting a lot of room. That was the frustrating bit. He was getting a lot of room to attack and just wasn't utilizing it at all. But let's see what you guys have gone. 3.7. Deflection off a defender. That doesn't count, man. That doesn't count. 3.7. Who else was going to start over Ndoye? Cho came on, did nothing. Yeah, but Cho didn't prevent us scoring a goal, though, did he? I hear it. I'm not happy with our wingers in general at the moment, but you could have brought McAtee on if you want. You could have started with McAtee on the right and put Hutchinson on the left as an example. And I get it. McAtee's been crap for Forest, right? But I'm just giving you some options here. And I think we haven't, and don't write Bakwa off. I'm right about Ndoye. I'm going to be right about Bakwa. I was right about Sangare. Okay, trust me on this. Anyway, let's not stay too negative because we have won the game. And let's talk about Jesus. And this was interesting because a lot of you were saying at halftime, hook him. And I didn't understand why. Jesus' strength up front is ridiculously good. Like, he's doing such a horrible job. The amount of times the ball gets punted up to him and he just has to try and use his strength to hold the ball off and then try and wait to feed some players in and everything like that, right? It's not the striker role you want as a striker, but he gets on with it. He got a goal cancelled against Liverpool, corruption, allegedly. He got one cancelled today, Ndoye corruption. And in fact, he still persisted. His header was very good. And he's not a tall person. I think he's like 5'10". He just leapt up like a salmon, met the cross, boom, in it went. Very good finish. I was very pleased with his performance. You know what? I'm giving him a 9. I'm just giving him a 9. It was not, as a striker, it was not the role you wanted tonight, where you were almost segregated at times from those long balls towards him. And he did really well. And he would run into the channels. And that decision at the end, where he could have, you know, someone less mature would have played Dominguez through and it would have ended up with the goalkeeper or a goal. I hear it. But he just took the sensible thing and just killed the clock and worked it out to the left-hand side. This is where that football IQ kicked in. So I'm giving him a 9 out of 10. You guys went 8.3. Okay, there's the agendas, man. There's the agendas right there. I hear it. The agendas, right? 8.3. Okay, on to the substitutes. And I can't, for the life of me, remember what the order was. I know Yates. Was it Yates that came on? Let's have a quick look. Yates and Callum Hudson-Odoi. All right, let's start with Yates. I thought Yates did all right. I thought he did just as much as Sangare. And I think he's probably slightly better than Sangare, to be honest. He could have had a penalty if he was onside. Thank you, Stuart. He could have had a penalty if he was onside, but it was deemed to be offside. Do I trust VAR with us? Not really. But yeah, I thought he was all right. I'll give him, like, with the sub rule and everything, a 6 out of 10. You guys have gone pretty much exactly the same, 5.95. And then Hudson-Odoi came on. I don't think he was impactful, but I don't think he was negatively impactful. Okay, was he much better than Ndoye? Well, yes, because he did less negative things. But were there positives within it? I thought he held the ball up well towards the end when we were killing the clock. But I don't know. Is he fully fit? I still have question marks over Hudson-Odoi for the last 12 months. I'm just not convinced he's doing enough to match his kind of street cred and reputation. Verts' goal now officially own goal. Let's go. Let's go. Own goal. I just think he's been out of form for a while. Whether he's injured, whether he gets overplayed, I don't know. But I'm just judging what I saw on the pitch. I'll give him a 5 out of 10 for me from today's performance. You guys have gone a 6. And then who was the last one on? Dominguez came on. What minute did he come on? 90th minute. I mean, how can you judge that? Couple of decent touches, decent run as well, getting forward to Jesus. I'll just give him a 6 for the sub rule. You guys have gone a 5.6. Okay, and then finally, Sean Dyche. What can I say? What can I say? Let's just bring him up. I didn't like the tactics. I didn't like N'Doye starting, and I wasn't that pleased, if I'm honest with you, that Morato was starting. I thought Morato came through fine. I thought N'Doye didn't come through fine. I thought the tactics were very boring, very boring. That was definitely a kind of Dyche performance. Balls just whipped in. You guys are loving the picture of Dyche in the player rating, so I hear it. I hear it. What is it? The Stone Cold Steve Austin one? Look, did I enjoy that game? No. Am I going to enjoy another 20 games like that this season? No. But are the points going to come in? Yeah, they will come in. Do we care if the points come in? No. I think for me, Dyche has to have a report card at the end of the season. We'll see where we are. In my opinion, any manager, any competent manager should be able to come in with this squad, get them at least mid-table and win the Europa League. If you have any managerial experience whatsoever, this squad has enough quality to have that done. Now, the points are showing up. The points are looking decent. It's a good return from him. The quality of that game today, I didn't enjoy it. I thought his subs were too late. I thought N'Doye should have come off at halftime. But at the end of the day, we got the 3 points and we move on. But you have to be critical of these things. What we don't have to happen. I'll give you Liverpool as the example. Liverpool won their first 5 games, scumbag late goals in pretty much every one of them, or a red card against Newcastle and what have you. And then eventually the cracks became craters and they weren't able to kind of sustain it, right? I don't want that to happen to us. So we've got to keep an eye on these performances. Big up to Mabs with the 39 months, my guy. Much love. I'm going to give Dyche a 6 out of 10. I know we won. I know it sounds harsh, but I just feel if there was some urgency and some kind of more energy in that performance, we could have been 2 or 3-0 up at halftime. Wolves were offering absolutely nothing at all. So I'll give him a 6. Let's see what you guys did. 6.6. You guys are going to say, you're harsh, man. Why are you being so harsh? We're on, how many likes are we on, guys? We're on 172 likes, 600 odd of you in here. Please do hit the like button. Make sure you subscribed as well if you are new. Yeah, Dave, I agree with this. I'd take 3 points away from home, 1-0, even if play crappy. But the context of it is, we got to take the context into it. Wolves, bottom of the league, haven't won a game this season. Look, I said at the start, the most important thing for me today was to bridge that gap towards the midfield pack. Yeah, and we've done that tonight. So that's good. But we could have done it with style. There's no point to not doing it in style. Yeah, my 6, you lot have gone a 6.6. Yeah, triple sixes. I hear it. So look, good performance. I think man of the match, I don't know. I would probably go with, for me, it's Hutchinson or Jesus. Let's do a quick poll for you guys of man of the match. Who do you guys want in the votes? Let's go Jesus, Hutchinson. I thought Milenkovic was really good. I'll chuck him on there. Who else? One more name. A win is a win, and I love Jesus, says Rob. One more name. Who else? I mean, I'm struggling to think of anyone else. Anderson? Maybe Anderson? All right, let's go with that. Pick your man of the match. It's too late. I've done it now. Get your votes in. While you're voting, just double check you've hit the like button. We're 8 likes away from 200, so please do hit the like button. Make sure you check out OK Jerseys. Get your football tops there, your retro tops, all for £15, plus a further 8% off code FFTV as well. Okay, you guys are voting away, and by a clear and massive margin, your man of the match is going to Jesus with 63% of the vote. And yeah, I would probably agree. It was a hard fought game for him up front, and he did his job fantastically. Now, the fun doesn't end, chat, because now that we're in the winner's circle, I get to be completely shameless. So I'm over on Never a Foul in about 15 minutes time. I'm going to send you guys over there now, especially if Chelsea lose. I'm cooking whoever's on that stream. Let's just see. Is it all set up? Is it set up? I thought it was set up. Has he set it up or not? Give me 1 second, guys. Okay, there it is. All right, so I'll be across over there in about 10 minutes. So if you want to hear me being shameless and cooking and telling you how light work it was tonight, I'll see you there. Please do hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed as well. I'll see you over on Never a Foul for a bit of a cooking session. Forest win the game by 1-0. Light work, easy game. Never worried, never in doubt. Come on, you Reds.